to start a business and I don't have capital. I can't count how many times I've heard that being said by people who say that the reason why they can't start their business, either their side or main business, is because they lack capital. Today, I'm here to say that you can start a business without capital. And I'm going to share 5 steps to start a business without capital. Now, I've done this several times, and I will share from my experience and the experience of other people that inspired me to show you it is possible. So make sure you stay tuned to this video till the end to get all 5 steps and get a free bonus I have for you at the end. Hey friends, welcome to my channel. Welcome. If you are coming back again, thank you so much for coming back. You make this channel bubble, you make the channel buzz, and I hope that the tips are helping you to grow your income, secure your bag, make better money decisions, start a business, because that's what this channel is all about. And if you're coming for the first time, thank you for stopping by. My name is Tale. My desire is to help people build their income, create a successful financial life, become financially independent, and maybe even financially free through making better financial decisions, investing their money, or starting a business. And that's why I'm doing this series on starting a business. If you've missed my former videos, I've done 2 videos already in this series on starting a business, and you should check them out in the channel. I'm sure there'll be a link somewhere, so check them out. And this is my third video. And today I'm talking about 5 steps to start a business without capital. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is because I meet people who say to me that, oh, I would like to start a business, but my challenge is I don't have capital. To be honest, I have started multiple businesses without capital at this point, or with very little capital, and I can say to you for free that not having capital is not what is stopping you. And that's why today I decided to share 5 steps so that I'll give you a practical way to approach it and share my experience on how I have also approached starting a business without capital, okay? Because I'm a firm believer in starting with what you have, okay? I'm a firm believer in starting with what you have. So say after me, I'm going to start with what I have, because I believe that everybody has something. You have a gift, you have a skill, you have knowledge. You might have taken it for granted, but that thing you have is special. And I want to help you to see how you can start in a practical way without capital, or with little or no capital. Now, if you want to go on this journey, I already have a free guide that I'm going to share more about at the end, but it should be somewhere in the description if you're in a hurry. But the first thing I will say is find a problem that you can solve. So become a problem hunter, okay? Imagine you're looking for something that you lost, okay? You know how you're going to make an effort. I want to find this thing. I lost it. I don't know where it is. I want you to become like that about a problem. Find a problem that you can solve. Now, the very first approach to finding the problem you can solve is to probably do what I call your personal SWOT analysis, your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and threats, okay? Now, I wrote a book called Up Level, Find Your Niche, Share Your Story, Build Your Tribe, and Profit for Your Passion. And the e-copy is available. If you check the description, you'll be able to get a copy of the e-copy of the book, okay? But in that book, one of the things that I shared was even my process of even finding my niche. So let me share a story with you. I was transitioning from my career. I've always worked most of my life in technology. So at this stage of my career, I was the head of strategy and business development for a tech company. And to be honest, we were working with, I always had a passion for working with businesses. I've always had a passion for businesses, finance, technology. Those are the things that give me the balls and all that stuff. So I was thinking about what I wanted to do. And so I got an opportunity to start to write, and I like writing, to be honest. I like communicating. Like, those are like things that I love doing. So I got an opportunity to write articles for like a very popular blog or website that year. I think that year was 2015, yeah? So I started to write articles on things that I liked. So things I like business, I like, negotiation, just things I like, productivity, things like that. But what I began to notice in writing the articles is that my business articles seem to get more buzz, more responsive. People are responding more to it. And I thought, okay, it looks like I've struck something. There's something here. And I started to write more and develop more articles. Now, and I began to listen to what people were saying, the questions they were asking. And then one day it clicked to my mind. They said, Tale, these things you know that you might be taking for granted because you started so many businesses by this time, other people might want to know it, okay? Because I've been running businesses since I was 9 years old, okay? I mean, at 9 years old, I used to buy sweets in wholesale and sell it in retail to my classmates. Blame it on the fact that I grew up with an entrepreneurial mom. My mom is Igbo. If you're not Nigerian, Igbo is a tribe in Nigeria. But I'm sure you know the Igbos, right? Because they're everywhere in the world, so they're very entrepreneurial. So I think I got some of that blood, and so I always had little businesses by the side. Even when I was in the university, I was selling makeup. I always did something. I had a club for empowering women. I was always doing something. I just loved business. So it just occurred to me, beyond the fact that I have an MBA and all sorts of wonderful things like that, I've done over the years, different types of businesses. I said, wow, it looks like I know something that a lot of people need help with. And so I decided that, wow, this is a problem that I can solve. So that's the first step. Find a problem. So once I identified that, oh, this is a problem that I can solve, what did I do? I created a business course. Okay, I created a business course and I hosted it online. Now, in starting that business, in creating that business course, honestly, I did it with very little capital. Now, you might say, okay, because you have the skill set, you were able to build a WordPress website by yourself. Yes, I did have the skill set, honestly, which is why I said start with your SWOT analysis, what are your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and threats. So I had some skill sets that made me to be able to create this course, okay? Build my free WordPress site, host my course on it. And then as I wrote the article, I created awareness to, oh, by the way, I now have this course that you can now buy that will take you in depth in helping you to create your business. And I think the course name was called Accelerate, okay? It doesn't exist anymore, but that's what I did at that time. Now, so I didn't need capital to do that. I just found a problem. So become a problem hunter. Find a problem that people have, okay? And then this, which will lead me to my next step. What is my next step? Identify the people that have this problem, okay? And then find out how much they're willing to pay to have the problem solved. Identify the people. So how do you do that? You've identified the problem. So with my example of realize that people had a gap in business knowledge and I wanted to create this course, what did I do? I started to collect their information in an email list, okay, by giving them one of my free guides. And I started to understand who they were, okay, what stage of business they are at. So a lot of them were at the early stages of their business, which is why the business knowledge I was providing through Accelerate was very, very important for them. So I got to understand who the people are that I needed to solve the problem for. Now, if what you want to do, the problem you find is a physical problem, maybe you find that people have a problem with throwing away debts in your environment. You can actually walk up to people and try to understand who they are, why they have this problem, and then how much they're willing to pay for the debt to be taken out. So you see, that's what you do. So the next step is identify the people who have this problem and find out how much they're willing to pay for the problem to be solved. Now, why is that important? It's important so that you can then see, okay, is this a viable business? So for example, if somebody says, you know what, I have this debt problem. I'm going to be willing to pay maybe $10 every week for someone to solve it for me. And then you find out, oh, $10. What if I can get somebody to pick their debts and pay the person $2 a week? Oh, wow, that's an $8 margin. Or, okay, $2 a week, and maybe I'll now buy maybe the instruments or whatever they will use to pick the debts for $3. I get a $5 margin. Wow. Okay, so you say, okay, this business might have potential. So you find out who has the problem and how much they're willing to pay. So that's the second step. Now, don't forget that. Now, the third step will now be you wanted to hone your sales skills, okay? Because ultimately, you need to make an offer. You need to go and make an offer to people to provide the solution to them, okay? You need to get people to commit to it. So, for example, the debt problem I said, so you found out that people are willing to pay $10, and you also found out that you, by yourself, who solve that problem for $5 and make a $5 margin. So if you imagine that if you do that for 20 people, okay, that's already $100 you're making, okay, every week for solving that problem. So you realize, oh, okay, there's something there. So you need to now hone your sales skills and know how to make an offer to the people. Now, if you watch some of my previous videos on starting a business, I told you about my shirt story and how I used to make stylish shirts for my how do I put it? It's not my customers. What are they called? My colleagues. Yeah, colleagues at work and all that. So I made them an offer. I tried to get them to commit to, ordering the shirts I was selling. I just showed them the one I made for myself. I said, "Do you like it? Yeah, I can make it for you. So give me X amount of money as a deposit." All of a sudden, that deposit they gave me became my capital. Now, here you say, but Tale, what if they will not trust me because they don't believe in me? Now, that's another thing, okay? That's another thing around building your character to make sure that you're somebody that people trust, okay? So that's another story. But I'm sure that there might be one or two people who are willing to take a chance for you. Those people are called early adopters. Those are people that are willing to always take a chance, okay? So you want to find your early adopters. It might take you a bit of time to find your early adopters. You might need to make offers to multiple people before you find your early adopters, but that's the goal, okay? You've established that this is a problem people have. You established that they are willing to pay for it and how much they're willing to pay for it. Now you need to approach multiple people until you find people who are willing to take a chance on you and pay you a commitment fee. Because like I shared in one of my previous videos, if they don't give you a commitment fee and they say, oh, we have this problem, they are not really serious about it. Yes, they might have doubts about you. So that's why you need to find your early adopters. Okay? So once you find your early adopters, get them to be willing to make a commitment to you. It can just be a small deposit, 10%, 20%, 10%, whatever it is that you can convince them, which is why honing your sales skill extremely important. Sales is one of the most important skills that you will need to have if you want to run a business. And the truth is that sales is really about being able to make an offer of a solution. It's not about how much grammar you can speak, how much English. No. It's about how can you make an offer to the person that is a no-brainer, that is irresistible to them. Maybe you'll say, you know what? Every time I carry your debt to be $10, but because you're going to be one of my first 5 customers, I'm going to give you a special discount, one-time discount. Take advantage of it now, and I'll give you for $8. Just an example. So hone your sales skills and make offers to people. Now, one of the things I want to say is that one of the reasons why people really fear sales is that they really fear rejection. But you need to change your framing about rejection. See rejection as feedback. Now, I am the co-founder of a tech startup, and we approach investors, we try to raise funds, and we get rejections. We apply for competitions or programs, and we get rejections. Now, in the beginning, I take it very personally. Oh my God, maybe my company was not good enough, blah, blah, blah. But after some time, I said, Tale, why don't you begin to pay attention to this rejection? Pay attention to the feedback you're getting. Pay attention to what they're saying, and use that to improve the company. And you become better for it. And I began to hear stories of people who it took them like 2 or 3 or 5 applications before they got into those programs. And I realized that, oh wow, it's not because I'm special that I'm getting rejected. This just goes with the program. I need to just learn how to see rejection as feedback for improvement. Okay? And that is what it is. So don't be afraid of rejection. That's why a lot of people don't like selling, because they really don't want to be rejected. It's not because they don't know how to make offers. They just don't want to be rejected. So deal with it and reframe rejection. Now, the fourth thing you can do is find somebody who is already solving that problem. Okay, so if you say, you know what, I don't want to go the route of trying to find my customers, find somebody who is already solving that problem and become a sales representative or a distributor for them, so that you begin to build a network. You already have products to offer, and you begin to build your network by selling the products because the person already has it. And this reminds me of the story of Madam C.J. Walker. It's I don't know what to call it. Is it a biopic or like her story? I watched it on Netflix and it was very inspiring. And I think that she used to have hair problems. She used to have alopecia. Is that what it's called? Alopecia, when your hair, starts to shed. And she used to have alopecia, and then she went to a lady who she found out was making a special cream that could help her hair to grow. She used it for herself and it worked. And she loved it. But the lady, I think the lady was a white woman. She said, you know what? A lot of black women like me have this problem. Let me sell this product for them. And I think the lady gave her a chance. And she started to sell. But I think at some point, I think I can't remember the story exactly. Maybe she wanted to expand and they didn't give her an opportunity or something like that. But she eventually ended up doing that business. But she started as a sales rep. Okay, she started to build her network around people who had that problem, who now began to trust her. They began to know her, to like her, to trust her, which is the formula for selling: know, like, and trust. They began to know her, they began to like her, they began to trust her. And then, so by the time she eventually started her own, she already had a customer base she could sell to. Do you see what I mean? So she didn't need capital. She just needed to go to that person and say, you know what, I want to represent you. You know, I want to offer this your product and things like that. And you know, if you allow me offer it, she built her own customer base, sold the product, they learned to trust her, they got results from it, and then she was eventually able to start her own company. So you see, she didn't need to have capital. She just needed to be able to have sales skills, distribute for another person, and you know, build her own customer base. Now, by the time she builds her customer base, I'm sure that by the time she wants to start her business, her customer base ended up funding her. If you watch that story, you realize that it was women that ended up funding her when she tried to raise money and she couldn't get money. So her customer base became her capital givers or her funders. See what I mean? So don't say can't start because I have no capital. Start with what you have. So the fifth thing you can do, which is what I shared in this story with Madam CJ Walker, is get your first set of satisfied customers and keep repeating the process, okay? And building your capital. So let's use the story of that I just shared. So for me, with my shared story, what did I do? I started the business, and I think with my first maybe $50, I kept turning around the money. Until my $50 became, I think it became, at the end of that year, the $50 became like $2,000 because I was just turning it around, investing, reinvesting, and that became my capital. And from that capital, I was able to buy some machines. I was able to like take it to the next level, but I didn't start with capital. I started with what I had. So as a bonus, what you should do, okay, in these steps of starting a business is make sure you're keeping your records. Like I said, the only reason why I knew that I could turn that my $50 to about $2,000 at the end of that year was because I was keeping my records. Okay, so, and the reason why keeping your records is important is that this is what they call track record. So eventually, if you now say, okay, I want to now raise capital, you now have what they call track record. So your bank will probably see transactions in your account, or if you are doing the kind of business that you need external investors, venture funding, angel investors, you already have track records to show them that, oh yes, I grew this business from X amount of money to X amount of money, to show that, oh, this person has track record, this person knows how to build a business and grow a business. So if we invest our money in this person, we are not going to lose our money. Okay? Now, if you're thinking about, I love what you're saying, Tyler, but I need more guidance. Okay, I have a free bonus, which is on the ultimate guide. It's a very simple guide to start your business. You should check it out. Check the link in the description below. The guide should be there. You should be able to download the free guide. And also check out my book Up Level. My book Up Level is an amazing book. I wrote this book 6 years ago, but it is still relevant today. The concept in this book is going to help you to literally start your business, to find your niche, to share your story, to build your tribe, and to profit from your passion. That book has the principles that I share. Those are the principles I use myself to start multiple businesses and to make money. So I want to recommend that book. Check in the link below. You should be able to get it from Paystack. And I think immediately you pay, you will get access to download the e-copy immediately. Let me know which of these 5 points resonated with you. Did this add value to you? If it did, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, share this with your friend. I'm sure you have a friend who has been complaining to you, I want to start a business, I don't have capital. Please share this video with them, because this will definitely add value to them and help them to start their businesses. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing my videos with your friends. I really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe if you have not subscribed, and I will see you again in the next one. Thank you, and see you. Bye.